right? And she does nothing. She does nothing. She's just, I guarantee you, she's one of those women that just lays there and just takes it. Nothing. She does nothing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being in bed with Alexa Bliss, man, and she performs the same way she does in the ring? Awful. All look and no substance whatsoever.
I know a lot of people are watching me tonight, and I want to address the elephant in the room. I spent a lot of my day thinking about what had happened today, and I actually took the time out of my day to write my thoughts down on paper. And I want to address this before we even get into the actual review of the show. I know many people are watching me tonight because of events that have happened on social media within the last 24 hours today. A clip of one of my podcasts was circulating around on Twitter by another Twitter account discussing Alexa Bliss's in-ring abilities. Now, the video caught attention of Lexi Kaufman, aka Alexa Bliss, on Monday Night Raw. She retweeted it, and many other wrestlers also commented on the clip directly to me. The joke I made that was, quite frankly, a sexist comment, as I was critiquing a female performer in the industry, was played with sexism. The analogy that I used was wrong. It was sexual, and it only reinforced those beliefs. In all my honesty, it was meant to be a joke, and it did not come off as a joke to everybody that listened to it. My intention is never to offend anyone. I got defensive with my initial reaction on Twitter, which is very normal, but after thinking about it all day and seeing how my choice of words were hurtful, I actually want to apologize to Alexa Bliss this evening.
Hi JD fans, I'm back. So before you all go mental, before you start disliking my video and saying, JD's bigger than you, man, he's better than you, I have a few points to make. I've looked at what everyone has said. I think in regards to otrs has made an excellent video. Will's World Entertainment made a very good point in regards to the Raw comments, which I will get into. Personally, for me, both Alexa Bliss and her posse of wrestlers and JD from New York are in the wrong. Personally, for me, I believe both sides are completely in the wrong. And I'm gonna, in this video, I'm gonna explain why that is. So let's get into it. Let's summarize what the fuck this is all about. Number one. What the hell is going on? Okay, so, long story short, JD from New York made a video 5 years ago, which is a very important thing to add. 5 years ago, made a video making comments about Alexa Bliss, saying that she's not very good, and could you imagine being in bed with her, and blah, blah, blah. Personally, for me, I can understand why Alexa Bliss responded to that. But let's be honest, it's actually not the worst thing that he said over the years. So I don't know why this particular clip was brought up. Also, JD from New York did not tweet this out. It was an account that hated JD from New York that actually tweeted it on Twitter. Alexa Bliss, for some weird reason, thought that the person actually tweeting it out was actually JD. And some wrestlers were so idiotic that they didn't realize that it was an actual troll account. But that's just the hilarious part of this video. So, the comment goes up, Alexa Bliss tweets out that she's disgusted and stuff like that. She's like saying, I can't believe this, shame on you, and blah 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 blah. Alright, and I can get that, she has the right to respond. However, she also has a responsibility, okay? And what I mean by a responsibility is that, yes, is JD a complete and utter tool? He is, but I don't think he's completely to blame in this situation either. What you have is and I don't know if you are aware of this or not, and this is something that a lot of people don't know about. Since Alexa Bliss has tweeted this out, her fans have now called up JD from New York's parents and have actually given them death threats, which you all know my stance on this. I find that utterly disgusting. What I find ironic is that these wrestlers are all standing up for cyberbullying. And I will get into that in a second as to why this whole I stand up against cyberbullying, even though they do exactly the same thing. but I digress. Let's get into our first point, which is why I believe JD is wrong. Number 2, why JD's in the wrong. JD is wrong for a number of occasions. Number 1, he made the video, he made a joke. I'm not mad at that. I mean, the one thing that I should be mad at, I'm not mad at, because I'll be honest, I don't fucking care. People say this on a daily basis, don't know why he's being excluded from all of this. Wrestlers have done exactly the same as what JD has done, but the reason why I'm mad at JD is an excellent point that was brought up by none other than Will's World Entertainment. See, I didn't know this, okay? I had a video recorded before, but then I seen Will's video, and he made a very, very excellent point. The point is that JD, due to this entire situation, has flipped his opinion and started praising WWE Raw. That's what I dislike. And a lot of people and a lot of the JD fans are gonna turn around and say, oh but Jerry, if you were in that situation, you couldn't do it. If you were in that situation, I was. CM Punk, bitches, that's right. CM Punk had a problem with me back in the day. He was on a UFC documentary. I made a video. As I'm always honest, I don't care about whether it's a wrestler that watches it or not. If they like my videos, they like my videos. If they don't, they don't. Alright? If they don't, they don't. I don't care, alright? I don't have any stake in this game. I don't have sponsorship deals. I don't really have my video monetized. I'm getting a lot of money outside of all of this. But let me tell you something. I actually was smart. I'm not like the rest of these mongoloids that invested all in on goddamn YouTube and now they're broke. So anyway, that's a story for it. I'm not saying JD is like that, by the way. I actually have heard he's actually financially sound with his stuff, but that's besides the point. JD from New York made a video praising Raw. And back to my original point, CM Punk had an issue with me. I said on CM Punk's UFC documentary that CM Punk should not go to the UFC because he's going to get his ass beat. And I told him that because that's my honest opinion. I didn't want the guy to get killed twice. I did not want that because, first of all, you go in there, it's going to lower your stock as a professional wrestler. And I explained that. And then he made a video on his UFC documentary and he turned around and went, people just want to tear them down, man. People just want to tear them down. And then he lost. And then there's the same people that were giving me threats backtracked, and then now they're against CM Punk, which is kind of ironic in a way. But before you JD fans turn around and say, if you were in that situation, man, yeah, I was against CM Punk. And I told him not to go into the UFC. He still did it, and he lost. And I still like CM Punk. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be willing to change my opinion because another wrestler has told me so. Alright? I'm open to other opinions, but don't you dare turn around and say that I can't say what the fuck I want to say on this platform. This platform's dying, but it most certainly ain't dead yet. And I'll be damned before I tell anyone to turn around and say what I can and cannot say. Alright? Just remember that to you youngins that are coming into the YWC. Remember that when I'm gone. Remember that when I'm gone, boys. Number 3, why the WWE stars are raw. I can't keep doing this. Now, this is where the JD fans have probably got angry, but this is where I will be willing to defend JD from New York. On a side note, however, what Alexa Bliss just did is exactly what JD done a few years ago on people that disagree with his wrestling opinion and sent his legions of fans to actually do exactly the same thing. Even though he probably wasn't deliberately trying to do that, he still did it anyway, so you can't play the victim. Anywho, so yeah, we're gonna get into our little, there we go, why the WWE stars are completely wrong. Why is, first of all, Alexa Bliss is wrong to a certain degree because I do believe she has a right to respond to this. And by the way, I actually do like her. She has a right to respond to this. However, I feel as if it doesn't gain anything. Like OTRS said, there is nothing to be gained from this. All right, you could, and it was 5 years ago. his opinions probably changed. I don't know why you're tweeting, like, if you actually, with anything, I do research before posting, like, think before you post. Because what'll happen is your legions of fans will send death threats to this guy, and I understand that Alexa Bliss has responded to this, saying that she does not want that, but I don't think that that was really convincing to the fans, and they're still doing it, just saying. Anyway, there's two people that I massively disagree with. Braun Strowman and Sonya Deville, alright? I disagree with those two because they made tweets. They made tweets saying, Sonya Deville says, I hope I see JD from New York so I can punch him in the face. Which is kind of ironic because literally about last week she said, I stand against bullying and cyberbullying. I'm going to threaten an internet personality and punch him in the face. Yay! Let's all stand up against cyberbullying. It's hypocritical, the whole wrestling industry is hypocritical, and that's why I'm in a fantastic position, because I can say whatever I want. I'm fucking glad about that, and I'm so happy. And do you know what? This is actually the point where a lot of the lower, you know, like myself, it's not as high up in the YWC ladder because, you know, we can't manipulate the system. It's kind of great because we can say whatever the hell we want. You know, provided that we're not, like, you know, being racist or anything like that, or being, like, a disgusting human being. I'm not supporting what JD said, okay? First of all, it wasn't funny. I'm not against it because I'm not against it because of his so-called humor. I'm against it because it just wasn't funny. They could have done it in another way. And anyone that... anyway, I digress. So... Braun Strowman is another person who I think is a massive hypocritical fuck. He was like, I'm against bullying, man. I'm against bullying, man. I'm against it, man. Yeah, man, I'm against it. And literally 2 months ago, he was criticizing an indie guy for getting donations because he needed to support his family. But Braun, you keep at it, son. You keep at it against the cyberbullying, mate. You're fucking... It's absolutely beautiful, mate. You're fighting a good fight, my friend. You know, it's amazing that you're against cyberbullying, even though you cyberbullied a person online trying to get food for his family. You see how hypocritical these people are. They're hypocritical throughout, alright? Let's get into our next point. Number 4. The IWC is weak. Okay, there's another point that I want to make, and this is something that I've seen throughout. There are those that are strong, there are those that are weak. It's law of the jungle. Either you stand up for yourself, or you don't. It's that simple. JD from New York took the other approach. JD could have walked out with roses. I mean, he kind of still is. I mean, he's got more attention than he's ever got. So, you know, who am I to say? He's getting more attention than anything. He's probably going to get more subscribers, you know, despite the fact that he's manipulated the system and used about 100 ads on a video. But I digress. It's totally fine. My whole thing is that, especially in regards to this situation, both sides are completely in the wrong. I mentioned this about the wrestlers, and I mentioned this about JD from New York. Every action has an opposite reaction, okay? If you go into this YouTube game and say whatever you want, you have to be willing to take it. I have told people on countless occasions in this community, and they still don't know. If you dish it out, you gotta take it. Simple as that. Or you do fight or flight and you defend yourself. You know, like a man, like a real man. That's what you do. That's the problem as community. Because the top of the food chain in the YWC is filled with a bunch of goddamn pussies. And any time that any wrestler calls them out, they change their opinion and flip it on a dime. I don't care if you disagree with me. I don't care if the JD fans massively disagree with me. You have that right. Tell me I'm wrong. I actually want that. What I don't want is this community to lose its freedom of speech, where wrestlers tell actually people in the internet that they can't have that opinion. That's wrong. Now, in saying that, I'm not defending JD's actions because what he said was wrong. Because it wasn't funny. But, but I will say this, Alexa Bliss has as much time as to respond, but the problem is that she kind of went on a limb and then her legions of fans sent his parents death threats, which is disgusting. Okay? No one walks out here a winner. Actually, JD walks out a winner. I know, that's kind of weird. Oh, JD fans are probably watching this then. How is JD walking out as a winner? He's getting more attention than anything. He's playing everyone. That's why I'm making this video, because fuck it, why not? This is the only interesting thing that's happened in wrestling in the past 2 weeks. And you all wonder why I don't upload videos. You know why I don't upload videos? I'll explain why I don't upload videos. It's because this community, everything, has become a goddamn joke. It's taken over by a bunch of soft goddamn pussies, and they can't even goddamn defend themselves. That's tragic. The community that once didn't give a goddamn have called out anyone and everyone and told it like it is, and now it's just a cesspool of absolute beta male bastards. It's a sad sight, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? The ship's sinking, YouTube's sinking, and whether you like it or not, it's happening. Just look at the Killer Keemstar H3 situation, right? This feud has actually stopped people getting sponsorship deals, and people are now actually going after sponsors. Doesn't affect me though, because, you know, I was smart enough not to do that crap. But the problem is that you have, and that's the problem with this community, is that people walked into this thing thinking that they were going to get a ton of money. The money's dried up, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, I tried. There's no money in this game anymore. Either you just upload for fun, and that's it. But don't say I'm a professional wrestling talker, man. That's the most, since this kind of mentality from like 2016, 2017 has kicked into this community, it's been taken over by a bunch of mongoloids. Be honest with yourselves. Like, if you disagree with the girl, JD, say why you disagree with her. Stick to your guns. You don't need to just... And I understand that you want to apologize. That's totally fine, mate. I completely get why you apologized. But don't change your opinion on Raw. Okay? They're gonna take away your opinion, and then you're gonna say stuff that you don't even believe in. And I've seen people like this. I've seen people in this community that were forced to have a different opinion, and they become a shell of their former selves. God damn it. There's only a handful of people in this community that are still real. And I know that's a cringy thing to say, but it's true. No one actually is honest anymore about their opinions. It's crying goddamn shame. Crying goddamn shame. Anyway, it's General Jerry on the General Jerry channel. Signing out. Can't wait to see the hate from JD fans on this bad boy, like.